Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama is joining us on the phone right now. You've been very blunt, Senator Sessions. I assume you're gonna vote against his confirmation. Tell our viewers why.
Well, on CNN, really, less than 2 years ago, when the 2011 budget was sent forward by President Obama that Jack Lew wrote, he said this, Lew did, our budget will get us over the next several years to the point where we can look the American people in the eye and say we're not adding to the debt anymore. We're spending money that we have each year, and then we can work on bringing down our national debt. That was a totally incorrect and false statement. I couldn't believe it. I examined him extensively at committee about it, and he refused to acknowledge to do anything but defend it. Whereas Secretary Geithner, when he came before the committee, he told us honestly that the president's budget did not put us on a sustainable financial path. So he's been a part, and this budget, by the way, got 0 votes in the House, 0 votes in the Senate, and the reason it was not brought up on the floor of the Senate for real processing is because it would have been exposed as doing nothing to change the debt course of America, really. Raising taxes, raising spending, and not really doing the kind of things that we need to change our debt course. So it's not a little thing that I'm dealing with. I believe this man has been the architect of the Obama budget policy. I believe it's very fundamentally wrong, and I do not believe he's been honest with the American people about it.
Will you put a hold on his nomination? Will you try to filibuster his nomination? That would require 60 votes to break that kind of filibuster.
Well, we need to get started right away in analyzing his background and record. He'll have a chance to defend himself. But I think that based on my examination of him, his consistent statements over the years throughout this period, that he should not be confirmed. The budget that he wrote was condemned by the Washington Post, virtually every major newspaper in the country. Erskine Bowles said it goes nowhere near where we need to be to get our country on a sound path. I'm just very troubled about it. Also, this is another person just very personally close to the president who, and we really need in the premier financial position in the world, the Secretary of Treasury for the United States at a time of economic danger. We need a person of great seriousness who can reach across the aisle, be respected by the financial community in our country, outside our country, and I just don't believe that is what we have in Mr. Lew.
Well, let me just repeat the question, though. Will you filibuster?
We'll intend to be aggressive in challenging his nomination, and we'll see how that goes in the weeks ahead.
What are you hearing from your Republican colleagues? I assume every Democrat will vote to confirm, and if they do, that's 55 if you add the 2 independents who caucus with the Democrats. 55 is more than enough.
A number of our members have dealt with Mr. Lew in some of the negotiations, and it has not been pleasant. There is a feeling he's not been a positive force. I noticed Bob Woodward in his book, when they reached the Budget Control Act agreement, that he was reported to have been obnoxious, disrespectful, and dismissive, lecturing. And it took, as you recall, Vice President Biden to finally move this debt, the fiscal cliff issue forward. So I don't think he does have the kind of the respectful evaluation from Republicans that you'd like to see in the Secretary of Treasury.
Senator Sessions, thanks very much for sharing your views. This is going to be a lively confirmation process, to be sure. I think Chuck Hagel's will be a lively confirmation process to be the next defense secretary. We'll see what happens with John Brennan to be the next CIA director, John Kerry to be the next Secretary of State. We're going to be having much more extensive coverage of this later today.